It is time now for the Peter Channel 11 a.m. news report on it. 1 in the morning, January 27th, 2016. Good morning, everybody. I am Peter Wiggins. I am 11 a.m. news headlines in this. Wednesday morning, going into Wednesday afternoon. Here or not, top story at 11 a.m. Here is federal agents moved early Wednesday morning to seal off a wildlife refugee in Oregon hours after the 40 days arrested several leaders of the armed activists who had seized the land in a shootout that killed one of the group's most prominent. Trump slept on it, and he's not budgeted after Donald Trump declared Tuesday night that he would boycott Fox News Thursday primetime debate. The Republican poll leader is probably refused to blink, with his campaign manager accused of murdering Megyn Kelly. As Trump showdown with Fox News escalates, the contamination of drinking water in Flint, Michigan is so outraged community advocates that they are now pose a powerful question: was the city neglected because it's mostly black and about 40% poor? On Wednesday, Transparency International, the world's leading anti-corruption organization, is publishing its annual corruption perceptions index. Rio de Janeiro, the latest on the fight against the Zika virus that health officials suspect is linked to the wave of birth defects in Brazil. Paris, the French Justice Minister, one of the most outspoken and progressive voices of the government, resigned on Wednesday after a clash with others in a governmental over the proposal to stop the citizenship of French for dual national convicted. In Rome, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has landed in France for the first such visit by an Iranian leader in a 17-year spot on the European trip met. By Geneva, Paris, the Syrian opposition has awaited a response to the demands from the United Nations before deciding whether to attend a peace negotiations planned for Friday. Beijing, Secretary of State John F. Kerry and China's foreign minister agreed Wednesday to move ahead with a UN resolution to North Korea for its latest nuclear test, but they appeared as far as the party even how to push Pyongyang. On Tuesday, the Danish parliament overwhelmingly passed a bill seemingly designed to solidify Denmark's reputation as Western Europe's least attractive country for refugees, a hard-earned title at a time when many of its neighbors are tied into border security. New Orleans firefighters take the ladders to battle a cyclone fire spread between 2 buildings and a 1,000 block canal street on Wednesday. In Indianapolis, elementary school principal was struck and killed Tuesday by a school bus that jumped the curb, but she being held at hero for pushing. Several students out of harm's way for being struck. In Brooksville, Florida, a 61-year-old man involved in a Tuesday evening traffic crash shot and killed himself in an emergency room shortly afterwards, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. Officials say a possible tornado picked up a southbound vehicle on Friday. The turnpike had dropped in the northbound lane. Fire rescue spokesman Mike Giles said one person was injured Wednesday morning. In Beijing, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry met with China's foreign minister on Wednesday, but could not obtain an agreement to toughen sanctions against North Korea. Paris, French Justice Minister Christine Tamer resigned after clashing over planned to strip dual citizenship and French citizenship after terrorism conviction. In Washington, the president's fiscal year 2017 budget calls for $12 billion over the next decade for the summer meal program to low-income children. The White House announced Wednesday. Washington, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said it would be a good idea to appoint President Barack Obama to the Supreme Court if she were the president. A number of Mac and iOS user reported Safari crashed on Wednesday, and what appears to be a glitch related to the browser search suggested features. Apple's iPhone 6s may not sell as well as earlier iPhone 6s. We may be finally getting over an iPhone. Apple on Tuesday said it sold 74.8 million iPhones in the first quarter ended December 26, missing Wall Street. Apple's typically forecast that a new decided oil prices pulled Wall Street lower on Wednesday ahead of the Federal Reserve statement and monetary policy. Germany's government bonds halted a two-day gain before Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen's speech later on Wednesday. Italy's 10-year bond and the nation's bank shares erased earlier gains amid concerns that they're planning forge with Europeans. Los Angeles U.S. Air Force has updated the certification of SpaceX's upgraded Falcon 9, including its use for the national security space missions. New York crude oil prices retreated into negative territory in early Wednesday, trading amid Data showing imported economies were still oversupplied. Okay, take a look at the stocks down. Down 191.69.66.32. S&P 500 down 793 at 1895.78. That's down 45.12 points at 4,522.56. When the Brewer opportunity landed on Mars in 2004, it was supposed to be last for 3 months, but 12 years later, opportunity has still exceeded expectations. Professor, want to know if a planet can tell us about how star systems form? Omo is a rare white giraffe, which also makes her a photographer portrait, but giraffe portrait doesn't get the attention that elephants would rather receive. A fake moon landing or a hidden cure for cancer are just a couple of large-scale conspiracies that, if true, would have come into light within 5 years followed by. The alleged cover-up the mathematical formula put together by one physicist. Threaten all pregnant women to be screened for depression and evaluated again after their child is born according to the recommendations to say by National Medical Panel if concluded early diagnosis and treatment are effective. Massachusetts Attorney General is studying whether the process of Gillette scientists incorporated breast treatments for hepatitis C violent state law according to the literature the prosecutor sent to California drug maker. Women who continue to smoke after breast cancer status were 72% more likely to deny that women with breast cancer were never active smokers. Caffeine unlikely to make hearts jittery. In Revere, Massachusetts, Endicott Avenue, an alleged stolen vehicle. Repeatedly released Bob on scene with can with four suspects taken into custody. Peter Chaladusab is now 11:06 in the morning time. And this Wednesday morning it is time for sports report here. Tonight, the Bulls is set up to be at the Garden thing on in Denver Nuggets game time 7:30 p.m. And the Norton Lancers boys basketball team have a game against the Dover Sherman Raiders game time 6:30 p.m. Indianapolis Blake Griffin has apologized for the weekend incident left Los Angeles Clippers out to star for an additional 4 to 6 weeks. New England for the Carolina Panthers last Super Bowl squad. Lost the Patriots still very real to them. The Oklahoma City Thunder aren't they like the Golden State Warriors, but that doesn't keep them from winning the basketball games. Tempest flared during the first period. Boston Bruins lost today, and Ducks last night to the Garden. The Boston Bruins bench at the end of the first period after lost today, and Ducks to the TD Garden. Peter Childers is now 11:07 in the morning time on this Wednesday morning here, and it is time now for a travel report. Let's start you off now. We're down. We're 139 in eastbound side of Sulphur to Newport Bridge. I-84 in eastbound side of Little Surrey, I-91 in Hartford connected there. I-91, we got an accident here in Rocky Hill, Connecticut there. After Route 160, suspects for delays there. Highways in Springfield, Worcester, looking good here. Mass pocket to the westbound side, so for Route 9 and Variant to Route 495 in Westport. Southeast Express for the southbound side, a little over the Dorchester stretch here. Highways in Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, looking good here. And I-87 is looking good from New York all the way up in the Canadian border here. But otherwise, a smooth sailing coming in on highways and byways in New England there. Subway system is looking good. Commuter rail. Middlebury Lakeville Logic. Street trains part of Bridgewater Big Law scheduled stops at train 010. And Thursday looking good. Peter Chaladu's time is now 11:09 in the morning time here on this Wednesday morning. And going into Wednesday afternoon here, it's time now for a weather report. And looking at the radar, it shows a lot of showers off the long stretch in eastern Nantucket here. Out to sea and turning out to be clear skies for the afternoon here, as today's going to be parts of skies about 42 degrees, what's around 11 to 13 miles, gust size 24 miles an hour here. Tonight, most gust about 22 degrees, what's about 5 to 8 miles an hour, coming to DD. Thursday, sun skies about 40 degrees, coming south 5 to 7 miles in the afternoon. Thursday, most gust about 26 degrees, light south wind. Friday, slight chance of snow showers before noon, then a slight chance of rain showers. Most gust about 40 degrees, west about 3 to 6 miles, and just page 12%. Friday night, Podcast about 24 degrees. Saturday, most Costco about 40, about 28 degrees. Sunday, parts of the most Costco about 47, about 33 degrees. Monday, most Costco about 30 degrees. Monday night, Check the shots. Most skies got about 33 degrees. Just based to 30%. Tuesday, most skies got about 46 degrees. Currently not near, it is 43 and fair and humidity 51%. That is going to be it for the Peter channel. 11 a.m. news report on this. Wednesday morning going into Wednesday afternoon. January 27, 2016. I'm Peter. Have a good morning afternoon. See you later on. Have a good afternoon here